Welcome back to the KIX 96.5 Morning Show. We love featuring independent artists on the show. And today we're heading to Montana to chat with Matt from Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs. Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs are a foot-stomping folk music from Bozeman. They've been touring full-time for over 7 years. They've released 6 albums. The latest, Coyote, came out in June of this year. Now, sad news, 2 original members are leaving the band at the end of the year. We're excited, though. We have Matt from Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs on the show with us. First, Matt, thanks so much for coming on.
Nice to be on. Nice to be heard.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we've been playing you all week and all morning. But first, I was shocked by the news when I saw Brian and Lena are leaving the band. What, when, who was the first to tell you? What happened?
Oh, this was like back in July, the end of July. We had just gotten back from a kind of a longer tour, and it was an excellent tour. And had a band meeting, and Brian was the first to kind of let us know that he was leaving, and then like in the same basically right after Brian let us know what he was doing, Lena told us the same thing. So it was kind of a 2-for-1 deal. Yeah, it was. That was not the greatest day in our existence, but yeah, no. Things have progressed forward since then, and there's no animosity or no really hard feelings or anything. It's obviously there's disappointment and some sadness involved, but they're moving on to new things. We're moving on to new things. It's everything's mostly good. So yeah.
I mean, is it mostly because they've both been recently gotten married in the last couple of years?
I would imagine that's some of it. I think there's desire to do other things, and maybe our tour schedule wasn't, was pretty heavy, and I don't know if they were totally, either of them were both totally into touring that much. So I mean, I'm sure it was maybe like a combination of a couple things, and but like I said, no hard feelings. We wish both of them the best, and still consider them to be friends, and maybe there's time for future stuff. Who knows? We'll see when we get there. But for now, we're just kind of me, Ethan, and Josh are kind of mostly just focused on what this next year looks like, and putting the pieces together for either a new iteration of quote unquote Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs, or something similar, or something that's completely different. We're gonna see, but something's coming for sure, and we're gonna be making music in 2024. That is a guarantee. So
yeah, one way or another, you 3 guys won't be stopping. I mean, I imagine you probably went through every emotion since you've heard this.
Yeah, it was a shock. Lena leaving was definitely out of nowhere. Brian, maybe not as big of a shock, but definitely a shock. But Lena saying that she was not interested in continuing was a left hook out of nowhere.
Yeah, so. I'll bet. I had Ryan on the show, her husband, the week before the announcement, and I mean, not. I mean, he's not going to say anything, but I was even shocked when I saw the news.
Yeah, it was. It's still something I'm thinking about. We wonder about.
Yeah, it can't be easy. It's like going through a divorce. I mean,
it really is. I guess I've never been in a divorce,
or even worse. I mean, because this is your family, your siblings, everything, all wrapped into one that you've spent every waking moment with about for the last 7 years, and even 10 years.
And even Laney and I have been together. Lena and I have been in a band for 10 years now. So it's exactly like a relationship or being in a divorce. It was as far as I was concerned, maybe it's maybe I'm a dummy. I am a dummy, but I didn't realize things had gotten to the point when they were that upset about things, and so I just didn't see it. But I guess you live and learn and try to move on. And so.
Yeah, I mean, your guys' road schedule is, pretty insane. You guys have been one of the hardest working bands out there in the last 7 years. So, I kind of get a little bit of the road burnout, but, we could pump the brakes a little bit or something else.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I've been kind of,
going round and round.
I wish I had a time machine. There's a handful of things I wish I would have done differently that would have hopefully made things better. But I guess the real world that we live in, that's not a thing, and we just kind of have to deal with it and move forward, and that's what we're gonna do. So.
Yeah. We're chatting with Matt from Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs. Go check them out, LaneyLouandtheBirdDogs.com. They're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Go watch all their stuff. They got a bunch of awesome videos out there. Well, you mentioned it. The band just hit 10 years old. You, Ethan, and Josh are still going to go on. Have we had discussions? Are we going to fill the shoes? What?
As hard as it was when Brian and Lena told us they were moving on, it was the machine must continue to produce. So basically since that time, we've been, looking for people to replace and people to fill shoes. And I think we're very, 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 very close to having 2 people in place and getting new music material in order. And I'm already actually starting kind of look at into booking shows for early 2024 right now, which is kind of surprising to me at this point. But things with new people are definitely, they've kind of been in the cards early. It sounds maybe a little insensitive, but at the time when they said they were moving on, I think kind of just in order for me to kind of get over it, I was like, well, I just got to think about the future and think about how I can work this out and start looking for new people, and which to be honest with you is really, really exciting because I'm super stoked about the people we have kind of in mind, and I'm super stoked about not necessarily starting over, but I have this barrel of knowledge that I've learned in the last 10 years of if I had known what I know today 10 years ago, we have a massive advantage right now as a band who's we're not starting over. We're kind of just hopefully just reloading and moving on.
Well, yeah, a new chapter in the band. Because you got to pinch yourself though sometimes, because the growth of this band and what you guys have done is very impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I was if you told me 10 years ago, hey, you're gonna be in this nationally touring band that that is generally adored wherever you go, and you're gonna be not working and paying all your bills with money you've made from the band and traveling to all these cool places and meeting your idols, and I would have thought you were crazy.
Yeah. No, for sure.
That's what Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs has afforded me. It's been an awesome run, but I don't look at it as a failure at all. I look at it as it was a successful 10 years, and now we're just going to go do something just as cool or even better. So,
yeah. Well, let's talk about you a little bit, Matt, because you do the banjo, you do the claw hammer technique, right?
I do.
How did you get here? Because you and Ethan, your brother, were in rock and metal bands.
Right.
How did the banjo even come into your life?
Well, it came to my life due to one of Ethan's girlfriends, I believe. We were in college, or not college, I guess, maybe, so it was right around the time I was 25 or 26. Ethan and I were obviously living in Bozeman, and he was dating this girl that was learning how to play banjo, and I think she gave the banjo to him, and he had little to no interest in it, and so I was either living with them at that point or just at their house a lot, and so I just started kicking this banjo around with not really knowing what I was doing, and then took a couple lessons from my buddy Tony Policastro, who is an awesome musician. and has got his own little online music lesson thing going. He's great. He kind of taught me. He showed me the technique, and I had just sort of ran with it and kind of, sort of. I don't know if I've developed my own style, but I've kind of developed my own kind of, at least voice with it, I think. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, you look like you've been playing it for 50 years, so you're doing good at it. That's for sure. I mean, how did we approach this latest album? Did we have the songs all ready to go? Because some of the albums you guys already had the songs. Some of them you went in there cold. How was this one?
This one was a kind of a mixed bag. We kind of had like the bones for all the songs, kind of an idea and bones. There was definitely one or two that we absolutely wrote in the studio, and that was the Josh tune, the Wishing Well song on there is one we completely built in the studio. But I believe all the rest of them, we had an idea of what we were going to do, and kind of had the basic, kind of a ground level idea for what the song was going to be, and then we kind of just put it together in the studio.
Yeah, Coyote, however you want to pronounce it. Their latest album is out now. Go and get it. It's awesome. I mean, you can just feel the growth in the album. I mean, every one of your guys' albums just keeps getting better and better too.
Yeah. No, we were like, I guess that was another kind of maybe a little disappointing thing about Lane and Brian leaving is that we all felt that this latest album we released was, or at least I feel that it's easily our best work to date. And every time I hear this stuff on like Spotify or like on the radio or something, I'm like, geez, that's us. Like, that's awesome. Like,
we did that.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. Like, I think everybody else is really proud of it. And like, and the album's only like 4 or 5 months old, which is insane. Like,
it just came out in June.
Yeah, and so it's like it's crazy. It's like,
which had to be another weird thing. Yeah, I mean, a month after your album comes out, they want to leave. It's like, what?
Yeah, it was another weird thing, and like, it was weird. It was definitely strange, and even like the last few shows, been like, pitching the album to people like, hey, you want like this is our latest stuff? I was like, yeah, so, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's December 1st and 2nd in Billings is the closest to us here in northeastern Wyoming. Go and see them. All 5 are going to be there at the Thirsty Street Brewing Company. It's on a Friday and Saturday, so there's no excuse.
That's if you have not been to that room before, that's a great place to see any band. It's an unbelievable room. The beer is unbelievable. The folks who own that place have done a marvelous job of turning that into a legit music venue. So kudos to them. And it's a great place to see a show. 2 nights in Billings. That's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I've never been there, so I'm going to come check you guys out because I got to see all 5 of you one more time, but before it's over. You guys have been everywhere. You've played some of the coolest venues around. Mm-hmm. I mean, you were at Pine Lodge. You've been everywhere. What's the coolest place you've played at, Matt?
Oh man, there's been some. Well, we played on a cruise ship. We played on the back of a cruise ship in the middle of the Caribbean. We've done countless festivals. There's been so many to choose from. Actually, one of the coolest places we just played was, God, I'm gonna blow the name on the theater. It was for Bristol Rhythm and Roots. We played a theater on the last day of the festival there, and the name of the theater's skipping my mind, but that was one of the coolest places we played. We played in obviously Pine Creek's unreal. Numerous places in Colorado, played the Station Inn in Nashville, which is kind of a legendary place to play. There's almost too many to count.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean, you guys have been to some amazing places. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, December 8th is going to be Brian's last show. That one is in Bozeman at the Elm. You better get your tickets now because that one will definitely sell out. The Stillhouse Junkies, who we've had on the show as well, they are opening, so that's going to be a huge show too.
they're an awesome band we've played with. We haven't directly played with them, but like it seems like every festival we've played, both of our bands have been on the festival. It's like I've been in there like two passing ships in the night. Like I've only seen them one time, but like I know they're a great band, and like they're definitely on the ascent as well. So we're excited to have them in our hometown for our last kind of hometown show with all original members, but looking forward to it.
Yeah, go and check out their website, LaneyLouandtheBirdDogs.com. You can see the rest of their dates. I think they're back on the road November 22nd. Most of them around here, so go and catch them. It's within driving distance.
Yeah, it's all Montana shows. Well, actually, that's not true. Like, it's regional shows, but most of them are Montana shows. And their last, we played in Boise and then Salt Lake City.
Yeah, on December 30th and New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
They're in Boise and Salt Lake, but all the rest of them, they're in Whitefish, Bozeman, Helena, Billings, shows that we said, Missoula, and then Great Falls on Wednesday, November 22nd, if you're around there for the holidays or something. Definitely go and check them out. I mean, how are we going to feel? Are we going to try and rejoice? I mean, what's going to be happening at these last shows?
I'm hoping it's a combination of the two. I'm hoping it's kind of like a commemorative thing for Brian and Lana to, like a retrospective for them, hopefully, and like a good send off for them. But also, we want the crowd to know that like it's not dying. This is like obviously their last shows with us, and we want people to know like me, Ethan, and Josh are going to go do something. Brian and Lana are going to do something. Hopefully, everybody in the crowd understands that just to keep an eye on all of us, and we're gonna be around, and we're not no one's quitting music, no one's quitting making music. It's just gonna be a different thing for the time being. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys are always going to be a part of bluegrass, stomp grass, anything in this area, because I think you guys have really brought it to the area. I mean, I commend you guys for opening people's eyes to the music around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're definitely proud of the. We're definitely proud from being from Montana. Like, there's only a handful of bands that have made some waves from Montana, and like obviously the Little Smokies and the Kitchen Dwellers. But we were always very, very proud and kind of just proud to be mentioned in the same breath of those two bands, and like to be associated with those guys, and to kind of like fly the flag for Montana around the United States. And we're definitely grateful of what we were able to accomplish. So
yeah, no, we're grateful for you guys doing it, and they're not going anywhere. Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs, Matt, Ethan, and Josh will be carrying the torch, and we'll see what's to come. But I mean, imagine a lot of things.
The name may change. We have like I think we're the. It might be a different name, but it's going to be roughly the same band. Like it's going to be same idea, same energy, maybe a little more of some certain other stuff, but and less of some other things. But like it's going to be, you're going to recognize what you're seeing if you've seen us before.
Yeah. Any thoughts of ever getting a drummer?
No.
No wood belly. No, it's crazy. I've had a couple bands on lately that have gotten a drummer, and I'm like,
not in the immediate future. Like we've always really romanticized the kind of the string band look and feel, and like being able to do things without a drummer. I don't have anything against drums. Obviously, I'm a hard rock or metalhead, and I love drums in certain aspects. But I always just loved the idea of being able to play anywhere, being able to go anywhere, and I have to set up a drum set, and and be able to like pull cover songs off without drums. And to me, it's kind of a beautiful way of doing things, and I've always had mad respect for bands that have stuck to that formula. Like Travel by Turtles is one. I don't think they've ever had a drummer.
Oh yeah.
They're a great band. I admire those guys heavily. And there's other bands out there to say, like, I can't think of it right now. But
there's a ton of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
Yeah, exactly. I love those guys. Those guys are unreal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Ethan will be mad at you because he's laying down the bass. He's laying down the beat already.
Already, yeah, exactly.
You can't make your brother mad, but go and check them out. This is it, the final run of Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs as we know it now. Go to their website, check out the dates. December 1st and 2nd, they're going to be in Billings, and then December 8th in Bozeman for the final show with all 5 of them, and then the final 4, December 31st in Salt Lake City. Well, Matt, we appreciate it.
I appreciate being on. This is great.
And go and follow them. Go and see them one more time. Here is little Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs. Let it go. It's KIX 96.5.